we'll get started. This is our weekly huddle, team huddle, healthy huddle. And what I'm trying to do with these moving forward is kind of a new era in coaching, trying to bring more people into community and help us to help each other and build communities, not just with me, but so that you guys will connect with each other. And that hopefully is going to make a difference in the long-term results. Really, we're going to learn to get healthy together and stay healthy together. And so last week we talked about having a format, an actual sort of an agenda, and then having folks listen to the support calls that all of us have access to that are really trying to get the lighting right so I don't look like a ghost on one side and a shadow on the other. Ooh, hey, that's getting better. Here we go. That'll work. And so basically, I wanted to figure out a way to help us all get more fully integrated as clients. And does that sound really bad on my side? Yes.
Oh, you look fine.
I look good. Thank you. You look wonderful too.
Thank you.
Well, Pat, hey, good to see you. How exciting. All girls, look at this. So anyway, the way it's going to work is we're going to have an opportunity to listen to the 3 different support calls. And that's the nurse call, the doctor call, and the habits of health call. And then we're going to review a chapter in Dr. A's Discover Your Optimal Health each week. And so we'll get to know each other. We'll share some highlights from the phone calls. And then we'll go through the book together. What I'm hoping is that each week we'll have somebody take the lead and offer to listen to one of the support calls. Each call is about 30 minutes long. And so it's a good idea to spend about 30 minutes a day focusing on healthy things. And so there's 3 calls each week. Well, that's only 3 days. You got 7 total. And so it's not a bad idea to integrate those into your lifestyle. But for tonight, what we can do is, since we have a couple of new people that haven't been on before, if you can just maybe say your name, where you're from, and maybe where you're at in your journey, and we'll just kind of get to know each other, and then we'll go through the calls and the chapter workbook. Janelle, why don't you start us off, and I'm going to grab my book.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Janelle. I'm from Vancouver, Washington, and I've been on program since mid-December, and I'm down about 20 pounds and a little more to go.
Excellent. I think your voice came through, but your your video didn't keep up, but we heard you fine, I think. Anyway, I did. So excellent. Yes, we can see you. Thank you, Janelle. You look marvelous, by the way.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Katina, why don't you go next?
My name is Katina, and I am from Omaha suburb, Bellevue, Nebraska. And I have been on program since February of 2013. And I am down, well, I'll kind of say where I'm at right now. I'm about 83 pounds. And I want to lose another 40, although I say 60, but we'll see. I'm having my own struggles with my endocrine system, so it's taking its sweet time.
Yeah, awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you, you too.
Katina's team was 3rd place in the 28-day challenge. She was on the Thin It to Win It team, so that was fun. That was the all-girls team, which we have all girls here tonight. How about that?
Yes.
We didn't want any boys on here anyway, right?
No.
So, Pat, this is your first time on. I've seen you on any of these. I'm so excited. So give us a little.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm Pat. I'm from Owatonna, Minnesota. I met Craig at working at Ironwood Springs Ranch. He challenged me last summer. Hooking up with Christy. We've been working together since October 20th. And my goal was to be down 50 pounds from my birthday and I was down 51.5 yesterday.
Congratulations.
Oh, Pat, so proud of you. This is the first time I've seen you, actually. You look marvelous.
You should see Dan. Dan is down about 55. So we're down over 100 pounds. And Craig, thank you for challenging me. Seriously, just heart to heart. You can do this. I've got the tools. I'll hook you up with somebody. So thank you. Thanks for inviting me for a call. I'm enjoying the reading.
Yeah, well, and thank you for inspiring me as well and being part of this movement, because we're all in this together, guys. I'm still working on my health too, so we're doing this together.
It's an everyday challenge.
It is.
It is.
Yep.
But it's a choice.
Well, and together, though, I think we have a chance. By ourselves, I just think we get sidetracked and we start believing our own head, and it gets us crazy places.
My head's a dangerous playground, and I shouldn't let myself go there.
Don't go there. Don't go in there. All right. So, Gina.
I'm going to read my book.
Yeah.
Hi, Gina.
I'm Gina, and I live in La Grande, Oregon. I've been on the program since January 6th, and I'm down 21 pounds. I still got about 20 more to go.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Gina and Bob are both.
Yeah, he's here wandering around because we got our Medifast meals today, so he was in the kitchen putting them away.
Yeah. It's always like it's like Christmas when the box.
It is. I love it.
Yeah.
Foods. Yeah. All right, Marianne.
I'm Marianne, and I live in Springfield, Oregon, and I went to high school with Craig. So, anyways, I actually am doing my program differently. I have a lot of health issues and a lot of food additives and chemicals that I react to. So I couldn't do the Medifast meals, some of them. So I've been kind of just doing mine more like the maintenance meals, and I'm down 24 pounds.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I still am struggling. It's harder to do the food portion, the maintenance first kind of, that way versus the Medifast meals.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so, like all of us, working on habits of health, no matter what phase of the program you're on, is what's the real foundation of what we're doing here. And so Marianne we've been working together for maybe a year, something like that. And we're working on water, and we're working on goals, and we're working on the habits of health. And so actually you showing up on this, each one of you that are on this call today, you're healthier because you connected with this community. It really is going to make a difference. And that's not going to be like maybe a life changer, but it's going to be a brick in the right bucket, right? And so thank you, all of you. I'm so happy, Pat. The rest of you I see all the time, but Pat and Marianne, I've never seen you on one of these yet. And so that's exciting to see you guys.
I just want to say something, Craig, that for me, it's not just a brick in the right path. For me, it has really been a life changer. I make totally different decisions than I have ever in my entire life.
Wow.
I do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just stopped the video. Yeah.
And Marianne, I have to say that, I battle with my own endocrine problems, and I have a lot of food allergies. So like you, there are a lot of things on the Medifast plan that I don't eat because of, I have to really watch how much soy I intake because of medications. But I know that I fear maintenance when I get there because I'm afraid of having to make those choices with every single meal that I eat, but I can say that I look forward to having more options. And I know that I love my lean and greens, and I really do kind of look forward to having more than just one a day. So I applaud you for sticking with it because it truly is the best thing that I, for myself, have ever done. And I know that every day it's a choice, but it's a choice in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you, Katina. And I know for me too, when I got to my maintenance plan, I went back to all foods and it became too much work and I wasn't successful. I started skipping meals because I was like, I'm going to do this with all food. And then I thought, I don't know, Mike, it was some craziness I had to work out. And I thought, why am I making this? What I'm doing is not getting me what I want. And so how about if I use a practical solution? And so my practical solution is 2 lean and greens that are maintenance style. So they're not strict 5 and 1 lean and greens, and 4 meal replacements on average per day. And I've kept my weight off for 3.5 years now. And so I thought, let's just go ahead and do something that may be not idealistic, but guess what? It works and I'm staying healthy. And that's the big deal to me is it's all in the results that I get. So I find that the meal replacements they're a breath of fresh air. There's something that I can trust. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time thinking about if I'm getting all the right stuff. And then I still get the flexibility of 2 lean and greens a day. And that's been and sometimes I'll do 3 and sometimes I'll do 1, but I have lots of flexibility. So when I go to camp, for example, I have 3 modified lean and greens and then a couple meal replacements. Camp's hard.
Work on it.
So let's jump over and I know Gina, you were going to review one of the calls, and so which call did you listen to? And
Well, I actually listened to Lydia Wentz, and it was kind of interesting because from my work that I do at work, we talk about the brain and how it looks for those patterns, because your brain is pattern seeking. And so it really connected with me. So it was interesting. And so her thing was, it was called ruts in the road are like pathways in our brain. So the analogy was like you go down these road every single day and there's these deep ruts in it and you just keep going down it because that's what you're used to. And so it's kind of like how we're trying to retrain us on things that we might be doing. Like for me, and for instance, is exercise. I have a hard time with exercise. So it doesn't feel natural. It's uncomfortable. I find excuses to not do it. But the way that this made it sound is like if I just like do something and say, I am taking a half hour to go walk, regardless of that I'm tired and didn't sleep well last night for whatever reason, or I've had a long day at work, or I have to run my son somewhere. If I just do something for 30 minutes or even 20 minutes, that's an exercise that I enjoy, but it's not in my norm, that after a while it becomes the norm, so that rutted road starts to almost look like the new road that I'm taking. So, and I really like that analogy of that. So it connected with me.
Yeah, her last name is actually is pronounced Wenty, but a lot of people say Went as well. And she is someone that inspires me all the time. And when I heard that call, I created a special email called Ruts in the Road by Lydia Wenty, and it has this picture of these ruts in the road, and I have a little thing in her audio file is attached to it. And it was, I thought it was really great. Lydia and I have been working together with some food addiction stuff on a thing called Food and Freedom. And she's taken some of these skills and tools that I've used with my own past, and she's applying them to her life. And it's unbelievable the things. It's so fun to hear the student teach the teacher, and I'm just learning like crazy from her. Mm-hmm. She's teaching me back things that I've taught her, and it's so exciting to watch that process. So thank you, Gina. Did anybody else have any listen to that particular call or have any comments on that one? That was the Habits of Health call.
I listened. Yeah, I wanted to say when she mentioned the ruts in the road, we often use the term I've fallen off of the wagon. Mm-hmm. Those ruts are what create us to fall off the wagon. Mm. Well, you know what? Just put your seatbelt on and stay on the road, because it is so hard to get out of those ruts if you're not careful about the choices we make. So my vision of that when I listened to that was my seatbelt on, and you know, you can have a little something here or there, but you have to remember what's most important to you. And to me, that is to get to my goal weight and to maintain that for life.
Yeah.
So buckle up.
Yeah, nice. Love it. Love it. Well, thank you. Thank you both, Gina, for preparing and your comments as well, Katina. And so who did we have? There was a nurse's call, and the lady that was doing the nurse's call had something that came up, so that one won't be reviewed. Did anybody review the doctor's call for the week? Or did Janelle, did you do anything, or did you say you were going to?
I didn't know for sure if I was going to be able to make tonight, but I listened to the same call that they just reviewed.
Okay.
So that's the one I did this week.
Okay.
I didn't do the other two.
Did you have any of your own personal takeaways, how that affected? Oops, your audio cut out. Go ahead, there you go.
Well, obviously one of the pillars. Am I back in?
Yeah, if you can
do anything.
pause your video.
Still hear me?
Pause your video, and then it'll
use
help the audio.
language? Oh, okay. Do I stop it and restart? This is the first time I've used Zoom, so I feel like
There you go.
Yeah, just pause the video and leave it paused, and that may help.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, that sounds better.
Oh, you can. Okay. So when I was watching it, one of the things that she said that I really appreciated was that there's going to be seasons that you go through in your life that will feel like a storm, and how you respond to the tracks in the road that you've made during a storm says a lot about how ingrained your new habits are going to be. And the last couple months have been stressful at work for my husband and I, and we've just been processing through so much stuff, and it has felt like a storm. And I just felt like even more victorious for sticking to the healthy habits, and for like walking down a path that doesn't have deep grooves in it yet. It's kind of like you are still walking through something painful and challenging, but you don't revert back to your old way of dealing with it. And mine was with food. And so it just felt like I had been given a victory card that I didn't know I had, if that makes sense. So that was really cool to feel empowered by that sort of an analogy. Like, even though you're going through a tough time, if you stick with what you're learning now, it means even more.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's really good. Yeah, the lessons we learned through the storm stick with us, and really well. Excellent. We've got about 7 or 8 minutes left, and so let's jump through the. Thank you, Janelle, for that. For chapter 1 in Discover Your Optimal Health, and that really just we can just do a kind of group discussion. I'm amazed at how much I highlight when I read Dr. A's books. That just resonates to me, and then I read it the second time, and I'm thinking, how did he put new stuff in the book I already read?
I'm gonna grab mine. I'll be right back.
Okay. So Pat, looks like you had a few things maybe that jumped out to you.
There is so much. And I've been doing the daily email. I think it's 12 weeks. Is it 12 weeks with Dr. A? And I'm really enjoying those. Every day and working through that, because it's kind of we've been working through the book together, and even something simple as far as always parking across the parking lot and walking all the way into the store. I mean, some of those simple, drinking the water, some of those simply daily habits. And it's this first chapter, how healthy is your life? And that's one thing that I've noticed, that as I'm eating healthier and making healthier choices, that there is some, we tend to be around people that we're more comfortable with. And so some of you know, I have a real mix of friends. And so some of them that are continuing to eat 2 Danishes at morning coffee when I'm not even having cream in my coffee. And one of them said today, he said, how did you learn to like your coffee without cream? And I went, like coffee without cream? No, that's how I drink it. I just don't drink cream in it anymore. I just drink coffee. So it's just, this first chapter just speaks to me of how we're in such an epidemic of an unhealthy world, and how I had lost track of what optimum health was. And now I'm just starting to see what that is and feel it, and getting psyched to learn more.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else have any certain things that they highlighted that stood out? I muted you, Katina, so I think there was some background noise, so you have to unmute yourself if you want to talk. Go for it. Who is talking?
Oh, am I muted?
Yeah. No, we can hear you. Go for it.
Okay. I remember the picture of like the person in the fish bowl, and it was talking about the toxins and stuff. And I'm not sure if it was the doctor or the nurse's call, but I think the doctor was talking about as you were losing weight, you know, you release a lot of the stuff that your adipose holds, you know, your fat tissue holds. And so all the toxins that we release in our system. And then I think the gal on the call had something to do with her hormone levels and needing her medications adjusted because her body was releasing them. And so, I don't know, I was just thinking of letting go of a lot of our toxins, you know, as we lose our weight.
Exactly. Good stuff. Thank you. I thought was amazing here is all the stuff about the food companies, Nestle, Pillsbury, Coca-Cola, and Nabisco. And when you think about the reality of what food companies actually do, they're in business to make money. Mm-hmm. I mean, they exchange their services. If they could sell you edible dirt that people bought, they would manufacture it in the bagfuls. And if they could put something in the edible dirt that caused you to want more dirt, so you bought more of it, I mean, it makes sense. They're like it's like a living being, and money keeps it alive. And then there's people that live inside there that have families. And so I'm not saying it's all a good thing. And so the reality is they're trying to be as alive as possible, if you will. And so they want to provide things that we will buy and exchange our money for their things as much as possible. But and so the reality is that they're gonna supply demand, and people with their demand, we want to buy things that make us feel better and feel good and taste good and give us that temporary excitement. And so because of that, you know, they put those things in there and we buy them in quantities. So anybody else?
I'll just comment on the, I believe it's the book chapter that we were just talking about prior to this. And that is that I know for myself, I used to go out to lunch with friends on the weekend just to catch up because, you know, we live such a busy life with, I have 2 boys that did sports and, you know, and yada, yada. Well, now I don't schedule lunch plans. I always tell them, well, we can go and have tea or we can have coffee because I still want to eat dinner with my family. So your friendships start to change. And when you change and you help change those friendships, it's like the health kind of, I don't know, permeates, I guess, or germinates. I don't know what the term I want to use would be, that you start planting little seeds within your friendships and you'll know which ones will grow and which ones won't. Because the friendships that grow will adjust to how your lifestyle has become. And the ones that don't last are the ones that aren't willing to kind of adjust to how you've changed. So
that blew me away when I saw that actually happening, that people's friendships actually changed because they were getting healthy. And I just thought, really? But Dr. A talks about creating a new micro environment of health. And so as the people around us start to get healthy, and if they choose not to, we've got to build an environment or we're not going to make it. And that's one of the things that inspired me to have this huddle. You know, we all live in all different places around the country, but we can get together and we can have this thing to look forward to each week, where we know we're all rowing in the same direction and we're all fighting the same fight, and together our canoe is moving upstream, if you will. So yeah, so this is a great little chapter, and I love I love so many things about it. And so you know, in the end, Lisa Castro is saying, you don't get rid of bad habits, you replace them with good ones. After a while, the old habits just lose their significance. And that's what's happened in my life with food. Food used to have a pretty high value to me. And it's changed. It still has a high value, but it's different. It's not as high as it was once. And that's changing. Burgers aren't as important to me anymore. They used to be pretty darn important to me. And a milkshake was really important to me. So
I don't know. I don't miss like those things. I think there's just one thing on my food list that I absolutely miss, and that is like Reuben sandwiches. That's the only thing I miss, honestly. I don't miss chocolate cake because I have the Metafast brownie.
Yeah.
I really don't miss burgers.
Like some kind of Reuben something souffle.
I know.
Microwave, and it tastes awesome.
Talk to your mom.
I know, exactly.
Talk to mom stuff.
We're running right up against it. So for next week, we've got the 3 calls and then chapter 2. And so if you guys, literally, I'd love it. I encourage you guys to listen to all 3 calls each week. And if you guys would like to volunteer to listen to one of the support calls, we have the doctor, the nurse, and the habits of health. And then all of us read chapter 2 and take some notes, and let's share that next week on our huddle.
Okay.
So
I'll take the doctor call.
Doctor call. Great. Thanks, Katina.
Yeah.
I'll take
The nurse. Okay. So we got the habits of health left. Looks like it's Marianne or Pat, right? Gina?
I already did it this week, but I don't mind doing it again. So.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. And so that'll give you guys some, what's that? Oh, I muted you, Pat. There, now you're unmuted.
I want to find out about the calls, so I can talk to you about that later.
Yeah. And you can text Christy, and she'll send you those calls. And actually, in the back of the Quick Start Guide, the last page has the call-in numbers that you can look at for the current calls. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to post this recording if you wanted to watch it again up on the Optimal Health Client page, and then I'll see you at 5:30 next week.
See you then. It was
Thanks,
nice to meet everybody.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.